back up to a 4 at this point. But for us, obviously no worries of hurricanes for us. Upper 70s right now, so all we have, unfortunately, is the heat. Now, this is still going to be another hot day, but the warm-up is only roughly 15 degrees, and we're looking at a heat index, of course, getting to around at 98 to 102 to 105 degree level once again. Maybe if this rainfall can start ramping up in terms of coverage, we could actually stay just a bit cooler. It will still feel extremely humid, and we'll hold on to a strong south to southeast wind to support it, but there's a lot of good, I don't want to say hope within this to continue to bring us rainfall, but there's a lot of good intensity within this. Now, this is not going to bring us loads of heavy rainfall. There is a chance that some of us see about an inch to an inch and a half of rain, but this leading line is what we're kind of watching at this moment, as this is going to have the best impact across central Iowa. We don't see the leading edge really smoothing out or anything, which is a good indicator of a bow echo developing and us seeing that strong gust of wind, but we do have early signs of that outflow boundary right on the leading edge. If you look at towards the end of what is showing Carroll, there is that boundary shooting out. That will give us an initial wind gust a few minutes before we get to that actual line of storm. So everything forming out west is going to have a lot more strength over towards Nebraska, but as it gets closer to us, that is where we drop down to this level 1 risk, and we're not looking at near as much rotational organization. We've got plenty of energy in the air, but essentially we're looking at these storms just kind of bubbling up along boundaries and holding on to that boundary for as long as possible. But 78 degrees outside right now, fairly humid, 73-degree dew point, meaning, yeah, humidity's here. Now, by the time we get to 8:30, this isn't going to show the intensity very well, but it does kind of show where the cutoff will be just south of Des Moines, just north of Creston. Right through Mason City, stretching down would be our line that we're looking at this moment. That moves off towards the east, and clouds just kind of stick around. We see a few spots of rainfall try to develop on the backside of that, but that line is going to work over the atmosphere quite nicely. Getting into Tuesday, similar idea of just waiting for these boundaries to form. This isn't going to show us any rainfall, but there's a pretty good chance that we see a little bit of that rainfall showing up. But for the most part, we see the overall pattern change on Tuesday. So leading into Wednesday, things look a lot better. So for rainfall amounts, once again, it's very spotty, around half an inch to even as high as an inch and a half. It is showing Carroll having 2 inches of rainfall, but it does kind of have, it's very conditional is what I should say. So 94 today, of course, that extreme heat possible once again, but more emphasis on the possible side of that, as in we're not looking at it being a widespread situation. Just got to get through today. Things look so much better afterwards. We get into the weekend and we finally have that nice drop off we've been waiting for. This is that sign of early fall taking over, as we see several fronts coming in that give us northwest flow and can cool us down to where we have highs in the mid 70s. Joseph.
Signs of early fall. Chase,
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.